Isn't putting two-factor codes in my password vault less secure? Hi everyone, Leo Notenboom here for askleo.com. Got a question, and that is simply this. Surely having 2FA in 1Password along with your username password is asking for trouble. If 1Password is compromised, the hacker then has login details and 2FA all set waiting for them. So technically, yes, your security is slightly decreased. Although there's actually an argument that says it's slightly increased. However, we need to discuss exactly why I believe it is still a really good idea to keep your two-factor codes in your password vault. The question relies on what I consider to be an extremely improbable occurrence. Compromising 1Password just isn't likely enough for this to be an issue. Remember, your data is encrypted. They have no way to decrypt it. They don't. Only you, when you know your password, can decrypt the data. What that means is, in the, again, extremely unlikely occurrence that 1Password itself were breached, hackers would get nothing useful. Now, the other scenario, and I think a lot of people don't think about this one, but it is also, again, extremely unlikely, is that the hackers breach 1Password, but instead of stealing the data, they surreptitiously make modifications to 1Password itself, such that the password manager sends off your information to an unauthorized party. I am more than happy to believe that random hackers do not have a way to make random changes to the 1Password code without 1Password actually noticing. So, the data breach is highly unlikely. A malicious change of your password vault code is extremely unlikely. What are some possible ways that this could be slightly less secure? Well, consider this scenario. Someone walks up to your computer while you're not looking. They will need either your 1Password master password or your Windows Hello PIN, or potentially they would have to have your face or fingerprint, in order to access anything that's stored in your 1Password vault. You can basically set 1Password to automatically lock itself as little as 1 minute after the last time you use it. That way, they have no way of accessing your 1Password vault. Both of your passwords and your two-factor tokens are safe. This is where there's a potential for it actually to be more safe. Consider instead if you're using 1Password for your passwords, but you're using Authy for your two-factor codes. Well, somebody walks up to your computer. 1Password is locked, the way we've discussed it being locked. However, Authy typically is not. What that means is if somehow they already know your password and don't need to get into your 1Password, they then have access to your two-factor. What this means to me is that having them both in 1Password is slightly more secure than having your two-factor codes in a separate app that might not be itself quite as secure. Ultimately, hackers have easier approaches. It's easier for hackers to do things like get you to click on a phishing link. A hacker could send malware, and if successfully installed, well, then it could do anything, right? Then it could be monitoring your keystrokes, doing whatever the heck it wants to do on your machine, including capturing things like IDs, user IDs, login credentials, and so forth. Those, to me, are significantly higher risks than where you happen to store your two-factor codes. It all really does come back to you. Passwords are decrypted by your password manager and visible only on your machine. What that means is that you need to practice good security to keep your machine clean of malware. People will ask, okay, if I do this, will I be secure? No, there's nothing you can do to be perfectly secure. It doesn't exist. There is risk associated with absolutely everything. What we try to do with all of these security measures is to reduce the risk. Could your account still be hacked? Yes. Like I said, there are some very slim chances and some ways that any form of two-factor can be hacked. But they are all highly unlikely, and convenience of using two-factor, to me, is the gating factor. And I say that because what's important is that you use two-factor. If having your two-factor codes in your password vault, as I do, makes it easier for you to use two-factor authentication, then by all means, it's a great way to use two-factor authentication. So, bottom line, do what you think works best for you, but above all, use two-factor authentication. For updates, for comments, for links related to this topic and more, please visit askleo.com/168687. I'm Leo Notenboom, and this is askleo.com. Thanks for watching.